Have you ever looked at the clock and thought, where did the time go? Like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it is 5 o'clock. Like, what did I do all day? You look at the clock, wondering where the time went. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, your to-do list is still sitting there, staring right back at you, untouched. This, my friend, is a perfect example when burnout and overwhelm takes the wheel. They rob you of more than just your energy, they steal your time. But today, we're slamming the brakes on that cycle and we're learning how to reclaim our time so we can use it to live, love, and lead with purpose and on purpose so that you can feel alive, alert, and enthusiastic. Welcome to Time to Win podcast, where healing and growth collide with purpose, and you get to heal, grow, and prosper. I'm your host, RJJackson. Join me as we take a graceful 90-degree turn from stress and struggling to purpose and prosperity. As a professional impact speaker and mindset coach, I'm here to show you the way out of secretly suffering in silence and help you get back on the path of prosperity, because I firmly believe that you were born to prosper. So if you're ready, let's make that shift. It's time to win, my friend. So let's go fight win. All right, my friend, welcome to Time to Win. I am your host, RJJackson, your impact speaker and mindset coach, here to help you slam the brakes on burnout, overcome overwhelm, and girl, get back up and take your time back so that you can feel alive, alert, and enthusiastic. So whether you are tuning in for the first time or you've been riding along on this joyride with us for a while, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Now that you're here, I want to invite you to get your pen and paper, your notes, whatever it takes for you to write something down so that you can know the direction in which you are going to take when we're done today. Because I'm not here to give you information. No. Listen, we're serious about this thing. I am here to give you inspiration that drives transformation. It's time to do something different so we can experience something better. It's time to slam the brakes on burnout and roll up the window on feeling overwhelmed. So trust me when I tell you, I'm happy that you're here. But I'm even happier when I see you applying what we're talking about and transformation taking place. And believe me when I tell you, you will be happier too. I mean, seriously, face it. When you're overwhelmed, it feels like time is slipping through your fingers. I think it was the Average White Band who sang that song. Time keeps on slipping and slipping and slipping into the future. I know I'm a speaker, not a singer, but you know me by now. Boo, listen. If you've been listening, you know me by now. I love to sing, and you give me a word, I will come up with a song in a heartbeat. Okay. Oh, that's just what I do. All right. So time does seem to slip through our fingers. And when burnout sets in, it's easy to get stuck in that cycle of procrastination and non-productivity, where we're just doing activities, just doing stuff that really at the end of the day, it's not changing nobody's life. And it leaves us wondering where the day actually went. Okay, here's the deal and the challenge. No more. It's time to take back the wheel and drive towards a life of purpose, meaning, and full of energy. It's time to feel alive again. So we have the car, clarity, adaptability, and resiliency, and we also have the keys, And today we are giving you the keys to the car, and we want to invite you to get on in and let's go. Let's go on a joyride so that we can feel alive, alert, and enthusiastic once again. Because, my friend, that's exactly what you deserve. So let's start by putting the key in the ignition. Let's talk about what burnout and overwhelm looks like and what it feels like. So if we're going to be real, which we are because that's what we do, right? Burnout and overwhelm doesn't just drain your energy. They both steal your precious resource, time. The thing you can't get back once it's gone. It's those days where you look up and you realize like you spent hours spinning your wheels on things that don't even matter, or you feel so drained that even the smallest task feels so monumental, you avoid it and you don't even touch it. But it's not going anywhere. You still have to do it. And now things are piling up and you're becoming overwhelmed and you're like, Calgon, take me away. You look in your bathroom cabinet and girl, you don't even have no Calgon. Because you've been so overwhelmed, you haven't gone to the store lately to get the basic necessities of what you need. You keep telling yourself, tomorrow, I'll do it. Tomorrow. And then you find yourself in this vicious cycle of tomorrow, later, I don't feel like it. Where'd the time go? Oh my gosh, I got to get up. Like, what am I doing? You end up losing the moment that matters most. Whether it's time with your loved ones, meaningful work that you want to accomplish, fulfilling your goals, your dreams, or even the joy of just simply being still, being quiet. Just sitting there, enjoying the sound of nature. Or maybe even reading a book. You just don't even have time for it anymore because you, like so many of us, I'm not exempt, okay? So I'm not pointing any fingers. And if you try to catch me doing so, you will realize that I got 3 more pointing back at me. And my thumb is up in the air saying, and God sees you pointing. So you ain't got to worry about me pointing a finger at you. No, girl, no. I'm just doing my best to help you shift gears so you can get to where you're going faster and you can use your time wisely. You may be lost in those moments, but here's the thing. You don't have to stay stuck there. You don't have to continue on that dead-end street taking you nowhere. Today is the day to shift gears, to make the U-turn and accelerate into a new perspective that puts your time and, my friend, your life back in your hands. Does that sound like a journey you want to take? Hey, girl, I hear you. I definitely hear you. So I want to make the journey enjoyable for you. So allow me to help you shift gears. And I'm going to give you 3 keys to take back your time. When I say take back your time, believe me, you can't go back and get your time back. No, once it's gone, it's gone. When I say take back your time, I'm literally saying to you, get back in control of what you can do and stop worrying about what you can't do. That's taking back your time. Okay? Because, sometimes we say things like, oh, I'm going to catch up on my sleep. No, you're not. Once you've lost it, it's gone. So it's important to set the tone for your day that you get enough sleep. Because when we don't get enough sleep, this is what is leading to burnout. We don't have any energy. We're exhausted. And even though we're exhausted, it don't stop the list from growing, right? So what can we do? I'm so glad you asked. 3 keys. Let's start with number 1. And I don't want you to just write them down. I don't want you to say, oh, that's good, and then go on about your routine day of wasting your time. I want you to hear me out Listen to the keys that I'm going to share with you, and then decide which key will you put in the ignition and turn first. Because you might need to turn off 3. I don't know. And if you don't need to turn any of the keys that I'm giving you, then I want you to ask yourself, well, what key do I need to turn so that I won't continue to spin my wheels going nowhere, getting frustrated, becoming overwhelmed, quitting before I get to my destination? Yeah, ask yourself that, my friend. Here's the first key. Clear the roadblocks. Okay, it's hard to take a look at where your time is really going unless you know what's in front of you. So let me ask you a question. Are you saying yes to things that you don't even care about? Are you getting caught up in the distractions like social media and unnecessary tasks, things to do, instead of being who you've been called to be in this season? Okay, if that's you, I want you to clear the roadblocks. Now, as a volunteer for a PD, I am accustomed to setting up roadblocks. And we use cones and barriers, and we stand there in front of those cones and barriers, and we tell people, you have to go around. And it is inevitable that someone will say, they will roll down the window and they will say, but I got to go that way. Well, you're not going this way. The road is closed. It's a roadblock. You must go around. But no, I got to go that way. All right, do you live there? No, but I got to go that way. And you know why? They will eventually say it's the only way I know. And that is so true for so many of us. We get caught up in going the same way, doing the same thing because it's the way we know, it's the way that's comfortable for us, and we aren't willing to take a risk and go around the block. Today, I want to encourage you, go around the block so you can clear the roadblocks. Because if you keep doing the same thing, you know the end. You're going to get the same results, right? Right. We're not doing that anymore. We're not spending hours on social media just to be entertained. We're not doing unnecessary tasks anymore. We're going to start by clearing out one roadblock at a time. And we're going to start this week. Whether it's turning off our notifications or delegating tasks and shutting down the television, whatever it looks like for you, this is what we're going to do. We're going to clear the roadblock. And then we're going to watch how much time opens up. I remember one time I had my phone stolen. And at first glance, I was like, whoa, they took my phone. But after 2 days of not having a phone, I was like, yeah, baby, they took my phone. It set me up. It cleared the roadblocks of me wasting my time. And it felt so good. Maybe it's not the phone for you. It might not even be social media. Maybe you sit down and watch TV. Maybe you sleep 13 hours instead of 8. I don't know, my friend. But I know this. If you find yourself losing more time than you are being productive, it's time to clear the way and make way for your greatness. All right, that's number 1. And let me say this before we go to number 2. I had to clear the way too. I promise you. And it wasn't just the time they stole my phone. I had to clear the way, and I have to continue to clear the way every day. Sometimes I'll start looking for something on social media that is helping me, that is purposeful, and I'll see something else and I'll get distracted and go down that rabbit hole. And I'll look up in 30 minutes, maybe an hour later and go, what was I looking for anyhow? See, we all have to clear the way. I'm not exempt. Let me tell you something. I got to check myself before I wreck myself too. And you know, that's my daddy saying. If you've been following me on social media, I have confessed. I've been showing you a lot of my mama side of me, the professional businesswoman. But Watch out. I'm about to show you some of my daddy, okay? It is funny because my dad really was like George Jefferson. I want to say junior, but I'm going to say the second, okay? Sometimes he looked like him, and all the time he acted just like him. This man would make you laugh. He was funny. He just came up with stuff off the top of his head, and you just like look at him like, where did that come from? Like, how did you think of that? And I got a little bit of that in me. And like my daddy, I love to have fun. I have nothing but joy. People are always asking me, why are you always smiling? If you knew my story, you would be smiling too. But it is also a part of me that is innate. It's just in me. It's just who I am. Because we all have choices, right? I feel like this. I can look at the problems that I have, because trust me when I tell you, I have problems. But here's the key. The problems don't have me. And since the problems don't have me, I don't focus on the problem, because I could look at the problems or I could look at the promise. And personally, I choose to look at the promise, because the promise outweighs the problems every single time. And as I look at the promise, I got joy. And that's why, my friend, I can take you on a joy ride. I can help you get through what you're going through. I know what it takes to get there, because where you are, I've been there. And I was there for way too long. But I'm not there anymore. And I refuse to go back. Matter of fact, I enjoy using my time to help you get through what you're going through. So you don't have to live where you're dying, and you don't have to die where you're living. But instead, you can say, I'm alive, I'm alert, I'm enthusiastic. I'm alive, I'm alert, I'm enthusiastic. I'm alive, I'm alert, I'm enthusiastic. Yes, girl. You deserve that kind of language in your life. So let me give you the second key to help you get there. And don't get it twisted. Just because you turn the key don't mean things are going to change. That's the first step. You got to turn the key. You got to put your foot on the gas and go make some changes. You got to put your foot on the brake and stop doing some of the things that you know is robbing you. And then you got to drive forward. But here's the second key, because we're on our way, right? Yes, we are. Prioritize your route. So whatever route you're taking in life, listen, know this. Not all tasks are created equal. So stop treating them like they are. Choose your top 3 priorities for your day. Let that be the route that you take, and you focus your energy there. Now, this isn't about doing more. No, it's never about doing more. It's always about doing what matters. Because when you prioritize, you're taking control of the route that you take for the day. Prioritize what's important. Stop trying to do everything and be everything to everybody. It doesn't work. The only person that's ruining is you. And if that's what you're doing, just let me ask you, how's that working for you? Oh, it's not? Then here's my 2-word counseling session for it. Stop it. And you don't have to. I'm just giving you a free counseling session. Okay. All right, boo, let's go. That was number 2. Prioritize your route. And when you do, you'll get your energy back. And then it's important for key number 3. Schedule your maintenance. You see, rest isn't a reward. It's a requirement. Just like you take care of your car, you fill it up with gas, you get your oil check, you drive through the car wash. You got to be intentional about you, taking care of you, maintaining your well-being, your health, eating properly, exercising, making sure you're moving more than you're sitting. You got to take care of you. You got to be intentional about scheduling breaks. You got to stop saying, I don't have time. Yes, you do. That's why we're here, to help you reroute, recalculate, the direction that you're taking so that you can realize, just like me and everyone else, we get 24 hours in a day. And it's not that we get shortchanged. It's not that God says you're only going to get 3 hours today, unless you transition. If you're still living, you get the same amount of time. And it's not how much time you get, it's what you do with it. You ever look at somebody and say, wow, how do they do it all? They prioritize what matters most. They prioritize their route because they have cleared the roadblocks. And they schedule maintenance. It's called self-care. Yesterday, I had a self-don't-care day. And my self-don't-care day was, I don't care what you say. I'm going to stay in the bed. I don't care what you need. I don't care what you want. It's my time. And I'm going to do me. So, go figure it out. A self-don't-care day. I don't care. And I didn't. And I did stay in the bed and enjoyed every moment of it. Matter of fact, I stayed in the bed so long that I decided I wasn't even going to make the bed up because there was no reason. I got out of bed about 2:30 and I said, oh, it's so dark. I feel like I'm tired. I'm going to be back in the bed by 5:30. Judge me if you want to. But like James Brown said, I feel good. I sure do. Because I understand the importance of scheduling my maintenance. Not saying I don't have time. I got to just keep going. I don't. And I won't. And you shouldn't either, my friend. And I'm not trying to shoot on you, but I'm just saying, you'll feel so much better. You'll slam the brakes on burnout, and you'll overcome feeling overwhelmed when you recognize how important it is to take care of you. And the way you take care of you, my friend, is understanding that time really does keep on slipping into the future. Either we learn to control our time, or it will control us. We got choices to make. What choice will you make? What choice will you make? Because you'll be amazed how much productive you are when you take regular maintenance stops. I mean, even if it's as short as 15 minutes of stepping away, it can make the world of difference. Try it. Like Mikey said, you'll like it. Should not define you. Matter of fact, they don't define you. You are resilient, you are resourceful, and you are capable of taking control of your life again. It's not too late. It's not too late to reclaim your time, realign your priorities, and rediscover the joy of living. I believe in you and your ability to make meaningful, life-giving changes. All I'm going to ask you to do is take it one step at a time. Start by taking the wheel back and slamming the brakes on burnout and overwhelm. No matter how small a step you take, how many miles you travel, it's still progress. The road ahead might seem and feel like it's uncertain, and it probably is. And you don't have to let that stop you. Nobody knows what the future holds, so go with what you have in your hand. Take the wheel and turn it right. And remember this, your time is your power. Protect it, cherish it, and use it for what truly matters to you. Let today be the day that you start creating the life you've always wanted. And keep this in mind. You don't have to be busy to be productive. Prioritize, rest, repeat. So I've given you the keys to recognize burnout, reclaim your time, and shift gears to focus on what truly matters. So now it's time for you to take inventory. Where's your time going? And then prioritize what matters most and schedule your much needed maintenance. Where will you start, my friend? Which key will you turn first? And just remember this, you aren't the only one turning the key. So many of us on a day-to-day basis, we got to turn the key so we can start something new. And today, I want you to start feeling alive, alert, and enthusiastic. And if you find that hard to do, I challenge you to DM me, message me, call me, put a note in a bottle. Just reach out and touch. I'd love to hear your story and help you find your way forward. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the podcast. Let that be a beginning step for you. But if you want to dive in deeper, let's have a conversation on purpose. Don't forget to check out our past episodes, lock us in for next week, and tell a friend that you are finding your way and you want them to find their way too. And they can do so by listening to the Time to Win podcast with me, your friend and coach. Consider me your personal GPS to help you make the U-turn that's important for you to get to where you're going. All right, my friend. This is your friend, the Courage Giver, here to remind you that you can feel alive, alert, and enthusiastic if you're ready and willing to slam the brakes on burnout and overcome overwhelm. And I am here to help you do so. Don't forget, jump in my DM, comment, just let us know how we can help you get through what you're going through so you can get to where you're going to. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, go ahead, please leave a review, a like, a comment, something to let us know that you are picking up what we're putting down, and we're putting down just what you need to know. All right, my friend, we've come to the end. Thanks again so much for chiming in. We are nothing without you. And thanks for being the most valuable part of the Time to Win podcast. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to Time to Win. I recognize that you appreciate the value provided in today's episode, and for your gratitude, I'm giving you a Time to Win VIP listener badge. So head on over to timetowinpodcast.com. That's timetowinpodcast.com and claim your badge and gain immediate VIP access to more of our next level resources and opportunities, including details on the huddle, a table for 10, the Cure Circle, and the Cure Retreat. Because you've enjoyed today's session, you can also express your gratitude by rating, reviewing, and returning next week with a friend. Oh, by the way, be sure to screenshot today's episode and share it in your Instagram and Facebook story or on your favorite social media platform. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week in the locker room of life, here on Time to Win. And remember, the best time to win is now.